In the beginning, before anything existed except Allah, He decided to create a human being. This human being would be unlike any other creation, as Allah's plan was to create a being that would live on earth, have free will, and possess the ability to choose between good and evil. This human being would also be given the responsibility to worship Allah and be a servant of Him. This being would become the first of a long line of humans. This being would be none other than Prophet Adam Alaihis Salam, the first man and the first prophet. The story of Adam's creation begins in the divine will of Allah. Allah, in His wisdom and knowledge, decided to create a human being. Allah's creation of Adam was a unique event that set the course for the rest of human history. Before this, Allah had created the heavens, the earth, and all the creatures of the world. But none of these creations could serve as a representative of Allah's will on earth in the way the human being could. So, Allah decided to create Adam from clay, a creation from the earth that would later reflect the beauty and complexity of the life Allah had planned for humanity. Allah began the creation of Adam by forming him from clay. This clay was not just ordinary clay. It was a special, divine material that would represent the nature of humanity. Allah shaped the clay into the form of a human being, and the process was one of great significance. Allah's plan was for Adam to be a creature capable of worshiping Him, learning from Him, and carrying out the tasks He would give him. As the shape of Adam's body was formed, the angels and other creations watched in awe, knowing that this creation would be special in a way they could not yet understand. Once the form of Adam was complete, Allah breathed life into him. This was the moment when Adam became a living being. The Quran tells us that Allah breathed His spirit into Adam, making him the first human to possess both a body and a soul. This soul would give Adam the ability to think, reason, feel, and make decisions. It was this breath of life that made Adam unique and marked the beginning of human existence. After Adam was brought to life, the angels were commanded by Allah to bow down to him. This act of prostration was not an act of worship, as worship is reserved for Allah alone, but it was an act of respect and honor for this new creation. The angels obeyed Allah's command and bowed down to Adam, except for Iblis, who refused to obey. Iblis, who was a jinn and not an angel, believed he was superior to Adam because he was created from fire while Adam was created from clay. His refusal to bow was the first act of disobedience in the history of creation. Allah, in His wisdom, knew that Iblis would refuse to obey, and He cast him out of paradise as a result. This act of disobedience became the foundation for the challenges humanity would face. Iblis, filled with jealousy and pride, would become the enemy of humanity and would spend the rest of his existence seeking to lead people away from the path of righteousness. As Adam stood in the world, newly created and fully aware, Allah granted him special knowledge. He was not just any human. He was a creation blessed with divine wisdom. Allah taught Adam the names of all things, a knowledge that no other creation possessed. This was a sign of Adam's special status and the beginning of his role as the first prophet. Allah gave him the ability to learn and understand the world around him, and this knowledge would be essential for his mission on earth. When Allah asked the angels to name the things He had created, they were unable to do so. But Adam, with the knowledge that Allah had given him, named all of them. This knowledge was a clear indication that Adam was the chosen one to guide humanity and to carry out the responsibilities that Allah had given him. It was also a sign of his superiority over other creatures, as no other creation had been granted such knowledge. Once Adam had been created and had received the knowledge Allah had granted him, Allah placed him in paradise, or Jannah. In this paradise, Adam was given everything he could desire. The trees were lush with fruits, the rivers flowed with pure water, and the surroundings were peaceful and beautiful. Paradise was a place of perfection, where Adam could enjoy the beauty of creation without any hardship. It was a reward from Allah for Adam's creation and a preparation for the tasks he would face on earth. However, despite all the blessings of paradise, Allah gave Adam and Hawa one command. They were not to approach a specific tree in the garden. This tree represented a test for Adam and Hawa. Allah made it clear that if they ate from this tree, they would become wrongdoers. The test was not the tree itself, but the command of Allah. Adam and Hawa had been given everything in paradise, but this one tree was off limits. This command was not meant to restrict Adam and Hawa from enjoying the gifts of paradise, but rather to test their obedience to Allah. It was a reminder that Allah, as the creator of all, has the right to give commands, and that his wisdom should be trusted. The tree represented the choice between obeying Allah's will and giving in to temptation. Adam and Hawa had been given free will, and this was the first test of that will. The story of Adam's creation teaches us about the nature of humanity. We were created by Allah from clay, and He gave us the ability to reason, to choose, and to worship Him. We were created for a purpose, to live righteous lives, to serve Allah, and to be stewards of the earth. Allah granted us knowledge and wisdom, just as He did with Adam, and He gave us the ability to choose between good and evil. The creation of Adam was not just the beginning of humanity. It was the beginning of our relationship with Allah. Adam's story also teaches us about obedience and disobedience. The moment Adam and Hawa disobeyed Allah's command by eating from the tree, they experienced the consequences of their actions. Disobedience to Allah's will always lead to consequences, but Allah's mercy is vast. When Adam and Hawa repented, Allah forgave them, showing us that no matter how far we stray, Allah's mercy is always available to those who turn to Him sincerely. The creation of Adam Alaihis Salam marks the beginning of human history, the start of our journey on earth. Adam was the first human, the first prophet, and the first teacher. His story teaches us about the importance of obeying Allah, trusting His wisdom, and seeking His forgiveness. It is a story of creation, free will, temptation, and repentance, a story that continues to guide humanity to this day.